Hey everybody! When Senna was first released, I thought she was an interesting new addition to the game who could bring diverse and unique strategies to bot lane. Since then, I have completely changed my opinion, and I think she is an unmitigatable disaster who needs a more permanent solution brought to her problems. What are her problems? She has completely overpowered and cancerous duos. These cancerous duos promote extremely oppressive and frustrating strategies. She is a complete favorite of Riot who requires constant maintenance to be balanced, distracting from all other champions. How could I prove all these things? Well, I have nothing better to do with my time. So as someone with nothing better to do with their time, I have combed through all the patch notes, I've looked through all the data, and I hope to make a convincing argument that yes, Senna needs a more prominent and permanent solution brought to her issues and not just waffling between a few numbers on her balance updates. Let's talk about something real quick. When I look at bot lane, do you see Senna? You don't see Senna, but I actually do see Senna. I see Senna 3 times on all 3 of the highest win rate champions. Where do I see her? I see her on Tahm Kench and his duos. Tahm Kench has 11,709 games played in bot lane, not as support, as a bot laner with Senna. 85 of those are spent with Seraphine, and 111 of those are spent with Ashe. Tahm Kench actually got hotfix nerfed today for being too overpowered, despite the fact that he has 99% of his games played with a singular champion who makes him overpowered. In support, he is not overpowered. In top lane, he is also not overpowered, only sharing the same win rate and pick rate as Shen, who, shockingly not is being hotfix nerfed. Do you see Senna again? I actually see Senna again in Seraphine. Let's look at Seraphine, another champion who's been hotfix nerfed. Why has she been hotfix nerfed? Of her duos, 9,981 of them are played with Senna. A mere 3,000 of them are played with her number 2 duo. She has blatantly her best pick rate and win rate played with Senna. Seraphine got hotfix for being very overpowered in the bot lane. Swain, as the 3rd contender here, is also the 3rd highest champion in bot lane's win rate. Can you guess? Can you just give me a guesstimation whose highest duo is? Now remember, I have nothing better to do with my time, so I already know. Yeah, you guessed it, Senna, with 2,685 games played bot lane with Senna being his support. That is 5 times more than his number 2 support. So we have a champion who has 99% of her games played with the highest win rate. She has 3 times higher pick rate than the number 2 champion with Seraphine, and 5 times higher pick rate than the number 2 champion with Swain. Senna shows up in all these champions over and over again. We see bot lane duos that are extremely cancerous and unfun brought in through Senna. Let's talk about this for a second. Tahm Kench just eats Senna whenever she runs into danger. This is a champion with 600 to 700 range, with a movement speed buff, with a slow, and this champion can get out of any danger with Tahm Kench. A tank who just stands in front of her, who slows people, who just damages and does stuff. Does this sound like a fun lane to just sort of have Tahm Kench stand there while Senna kills you? No, that really doesn't sound fun. What about Seraphine? Seraphine and Senna just poke you from long range, healing and shielding, doing chain roots, doing chain CC, and just sort of whittling you away from range before you get into an all-in CC combo. Does that sound fun? And once again, no, not really. What about Swain? Well, he does the same thing as Seraphine, but instead of healing and shielding like Seraphine does, he heals himself and just sort of chain damages in a giant Swain aura while Senna sits back and just does a shitload of damage. Does any of this sound fun? Does any of this sound like it has enough counterplays? Is interesting? No, none of this is interesting or fun. This is what I would call, in my opinion, cancerous, oppressive, frustrating. Now let's talk about the next thing. Senna is a complete favorite of Riot who requires constant maintenance to be balanced. How much maintenance does Senna require to actually be balanced? Well, since once again I have nothing better to do with my life, I actually went through and compiled every single patch note where Senna's passive was adjusted. Now, for those of you who think, man, Senna's passive, her miss rate, spawn rate, that shows up a lot in patch notes. Does anyone else notice how much that shows up? Well, I actually did notice how much that showed up. Let's go through painstakingly every single time time, Riot had to have a meeting, had to put out patch notes, had to have them translated just to adjust Senna's passive another time because she was overpowered or underpowered because they can't decide, is she a bot laner? Is she a support? What is she supposed to do? Riot can't figure it out, so they just constantly patch it. Let's go through it. 12.11. Missed rate spawn rate on minions she kills increased to 8.3% from 2.7%. So I guess she was underpowered as a bot laner. Had to buff her. Trash 12.3. Missed rate spawn rate on minions she kills reduced to 2.7 from 10%. So I guess in this very same season she was overpowered as a bot and then had to be nerfed. So now she was a support and then they wanted her bot and then they decided she's too overpowered. Okay, let's go on. We're only on 11.17. Missed rate spawn rate on minions she kills increased to 10% from 4.1%. So Riot decided she actually should be an AD carry, not a support, and she should be viable as an AD carry. Patch 11.2. Missed rate spawn rate on minions she doesn't kill increased to 28% from 22%. So Riot actually decided that she should be stronger as a support and not as an AD carry. Patch 10.9. Missed rate spawn rate on minions and lesser monster kills reduced to 4.166% from 8.3%. Okay, so actually Senna was too overpowered as a support and had to get her passive changed again. Patch 10.12. Missed rate spawn rate on minions kills increased to 8.33% from 1.67%. And I will go through every single one of these to show you how absurd this is. You are here. You are my prisoner. Yes, actually, Senna had to be viable as bot, so they had to adjust her passive. Again, this is all time they could have spent on another champion. Meeting time, they could have put on another champion. Patch notes, they could have put on another champion. But no, it's Senna's support again. Patch 10.8. Missed rate spawn rate on minions she doesn't kill reduced to 22% from 25%. She was overpowered as support and had to have her passive nerfed again. 10.3. Missed rate spawn rate on minions Senna doesn't kill increased to 25% from 20%. So actually she had to be buffed as support here, but minion rate spawn rate on large minion kills reduced to 1.67% from 100%. So here she was too overpowered as a bot laner and had to be buffed as a support, which is clear. I mean, obviously she's viable in bot support. She's supposed to be a bot laner, a support, one of them. I don't know, they keep flipping. 9.24. Missed rate spawn rate on minion kills reduced to 1.67% from 5.55%. So actually, here's the thing, they didn't want her viable as a bot laner at all. Okay, and then in 9.22 she was added. Yep. I actually added up. On average, 3 times a season her passive is adjusted. 3 times a season. Senna's passive is adjusted on average more than the overwhelming majority of champions even get patch notes. It goes further. Let's talk about this. Senna had just balanced patch notes, 5 patch notes in season 12. This does not include the durability update, which affected everybody. Doesn't even include the durability update. So this season, which we are halfway over, Senna has been patched 5 times. In season 11, she had 4 patch notes. In season 10, she had 6 patch notes. This doesn't include bug fixes. And on average, so far, and this average will go up as this season continues and she gets more buffs and nerfs, she is currently averaging 5 balance patches per season. At about 25 patches per season, Senna has a 1/5 chance of showing up every single patch. 1 in 5 patches. Every 2.5 months, Riot is patching Senna. They're probably thinking of patching her again right now. She literally got hotfixed a couple hours ago. They're already probably thinking of the next time they're going to patch her. Think about that for everyone who is a champion who's underpowered, who never gets adjusted. Everyone who is a champion who maybe isn't even underpowered, but just has issues, bug fixes, stuff like that, that just never get addressed. Now, obviously, bug fixes aren't, the team at bug fixes isn't the same champion who does balance updates, but you understand the issue that so much attention is being paid to this champion. Let me just zoom out here so you can see in its total, the sheer absurdity. This is a mere, she has been added in season 9, it is only season 12, and her freaking passive has received this many updates. So what is my point of all this? Why did I do this? Why did I do this? Hashinshin, why did you do this? You're insane. Well, I just wanted to put it in its totality. Yes, When I say Senna is an issue, when I say she's distracting from other champions, this is what I mean. And I think, Ryan, this is my argument, you need to think of a more permanent solution. Is she a bot lane? Is she a support? Okay, is she balanced with strong duos? Is she balanced with everybody? If she is balanced around having strong duos, then you need to have her win rate be at like 47%, in all honesty, because then you're admitting that yes, when you play Senna with a proper duo, she does extraordinarily well. And if you don't want her balanced on these strong duos, then you need to think about things that you could remove from her kit, like nerfing her passive damage from 0.75, maybe nerf that to like 0.5, maybe remove the gold generation on her passive, maybe make it so that Seraphine can't just be played with mages and give their team all this physical damage from a support role with absolutely no investment from minions or anything like that. You need to think, how do we actually balance Senna? How do we actually balance Senna so she's no longer an issue that is showing up every 2 months? I mean, let me be clear. Senna on her own gets balanced more than most games get balance updates, period. Think about that. World of Warcraft gets patched less than Senna alone. Okay? That's my entire video. That's my argument. I hope you found this, at the very least, stupid enough to be enjoyable. So thank you all for watching. Make sure to like, make sure to comment. Give me your thoughts on this. Do you agree? Do you disagree? What do you think about this? I want to know. I want to know. What do you think about this? So thank you everybody for watching. Thank you everybody for being here. I hope you enjoyed it. Bye-bye, everyone. Subscribe to my Patreon. Have a great day.